Welcome, everybody, to Make It Make Sense. I'm your host, Monique Pressley. Thanks so much for joining. As always, we've got all the news that is actually worthy of talking about right here, where every day we try to get rid of the noise, get rid of the back and forth, give you the facts, give you the data, bring clarity where there's confusion to help make it make sense, if we can, with the understanding that some of it is just nonsense. And of course, we'll tell you that as well. It's Talk Law Tuesday today, and I just want to update you briefly on a couple of things that are going on in the part of the government that is still holding the line, that is still a part of the checks and balances system that was intended by our constitutional drafters, the part that is checking the power of the executive branch pretty much every other day now, first in temporary orders and preliminary injunctions, and then in, as we saw last Friday, permanent orders, like 100-page plus, scathing rebukes against the administration for the lawlessness, for the utter lawlessness, the mafia-like dictatorial manner in which this administration is trying to issue executive orders, edicts, the king says, and then expecting everybody to follow along. And who are they targeting the most? Who or what are they targeting the most? The personal enemies list of the president some of y'all voted for, Donald J. Trump. The people who he ran against, who he believes treated him unfairly, the people who probably should have won elections but for the cheating and such and so on, and the buying of votes and such and so on, and the repression, oppression, suppression of the voting populace, but that's for another day. So Hillary Clinton and anybody who was working for Hillary Clinton, the school that the vice president, our MVP Harris, went to, or anybody in their orbit, and law firms that represented people who he considers enemies, like they're just blatantly, without trying to hide it, calling these people anti-American, calling their policies in their offices DEI policies that they're saying are against the law. Like they're just going down the list and making up reasons to attack them. And some people and some companies are capitulating, are complying in advance. And then there are others who said, no, no, you don't, not without us going to court. And one such law firm that was attacked by a president's executive order was Perkins Coie. And instead of capitulating, they sued, went to court, asked for temporary restraining order and permanent injunction. They got the temporary restraining order, but this past Friday, they got a lot more than that. I want to read a little bit of it to you so we can all be on the same page, because I think this is so, so important. And it doesn't have to come up on the screen yet. I'm going to read a little bit first, and then we'll get there. I just want to give everybody an update from ABC News. Judge issues permanent block of Trump executive order targeting Perkins Coie law firm. A federal judge on Friday issued a permanent ruling barring the Trump administration from implementing an executive order targeting the law firm Perkins Coie, describing President Donald Trump's efforts to crack down on law firms as an unconstitutional and unprecedented attack on the basic foundations of the rule of law. No American president, this is a quote, has ever before issued executive orders like the one at issue in this lawsuit, targeting a prominent law firm with adverse actions to be executed by all executive branch agencies, but in purpose and effect. This action draws from a playbook as old as Shakespeare, who penned the phrase, quote, "The first thing we do, let's kill all the lawyers," end quote. U.S. District Judge Beryl Howell said in a scathing opinion accompanying her ruling. I'm continuing quotes. In a cringeworthy twist on the theatrical phrase, "let's kill all the lawyers," Executive Order 14230 takes the approach of "let's kill the lawyers I don't like," sending the clear message, lawyers must stick to the party line or else, she added. The rule from Howell is a rapid rebuke of the government's actions in a case that is just one challenge of several against Trump's efforts to target law firms that have either represented his political opponents or employed them. Trump's executive order, which cited Perkins Coie's former representation of Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign, sought to strip security clearances from the firm's lawyers, virtually halting any dealings with the federal government and restricting its attorneys from accessing most federal buildings. In March, Howell issued a temporary restraining order blocking the Trump administration from implementing key parts of the executive order. During a court hearing on April 23rd, as Howell contemplated a longer lasting block, she again voiced concerns about the constitutionality of Trump's move and sharply questioned government's lawyers. On the day of that hearing, Trump took to social media to criticize the judge by name over her assignment to the case. Trump has issued similar executive orders targeting 4 other law firms, while at least 9 law firms have entered into controversial deals with the White House, offering millions of dollars in pro bono work on causes supported by conservatives in order to avoid being targeted. Now, shouldn't they feel like damn fools right about now? Y'all who capitulated, shouldn't you feel like big dummies? I mean, for real, you're lawyers. You're probably some of the best paid by the hour and across all your bonuses and et cetera and the sundry and so on. Best paid in the world. Top legal educations, certainly in the country, maybe in the world, Harvard, Yale, et cetera, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. But it takes lawyers like the ones at Perkins Coie to run through the gate first, to get bloodied, to refuse to capitulate, to not obey in advance, to not offer up their firm's coffers, the money that they get from their clients and from the wins that they obtain in court. They refuse to give over their money to pro bono work, not knowing what the pro bono work is going to be. And they go to court instead and say, "Nah, not us. We shall see you in court because you don't get to kill these lawyers without a fight." Now, here's what we know from the executive order that came out last week from the Trump administration. What they want those firms that already went in and did their blood deals and committed to, put millions of dollars of pro bono into conservative causes that are approved by the Trump administration. Trump last week signs an executive order about policing and law enforcement and wants pro bono trust, a pro bono war chest, to be used to defend police who are accused of police misconduct, of wrongful actions in arrests and in stops, in frisks, wrongful actions that lead to death of those who are in their custody. This administration wants the legal war chest, you big dummies, to be used to defend the police who are charged with police misconduct, with wrongful actions in the course of their job performance. They want them to be provided with pro bono assistance. And some of the firms said, oh, it won't be used for that. It's in our agreement. Okay, we'll see. But first they get the war chest. Do you see how this works? First they do the executive orders that are not lawful, like big bullies do. Then they get some people who are scared, chicken it, you know what it is. They use the ones that are scared to collect this war chest. And then they come out and say, we're going to use it for police who conduct themselves as criminals. We're going to use it for police who break the law. We're going to use it to further our desire for military state. We're going to use it to scare all of our citizens into being afraid to speak out, being afraid to protest in the streets, being afraid to do anything that involves free speech or right to assembly or right to protest, any of those things that are constitutional, because we're going to enable states to say, oh, okay, come send us. And when the police use heavy-handed tactics, when the police break the law in the way that they deal with other citizens, we're going to have this war chest available with the finest lawyers in the land to represent them. Judge Beryl Howell says, you, sir, are a criminal. You, Mr. Trump, are trying to do with executive orders things that have never been done before. You are Shakespearean in your level of tragedy. You are lawless. And what you are doing shall not be done. I am extending my temporary restraining order, making it a permanent injunction and saying to you, no, you won't. No, not ever, never. You will not do this to law firms with which you don't agree, to lawyers with whom you've got the outs because they had the nerve to represent clients who opposed you and told the truth about you. So, what are our lessons? One, do not comply in advance. Do not capitulate. Assume that the things this White House is doing are not lawful. Presume that there is a way for you to fight. Attempt to fight in the one branch of the government, the judiciary. Trump appointees, Biden appointees, Trump 1 appointees, Obama appointees, Bush appointees, they are all saying, stop it. All of them. Conservative, liberal, independent, you name it. The judicial branch is saying, sir, no. And we need them to keep saying it. And if one says it and two say it and then three say it, then that becomes law of the land. So what we have to do is hold the line and while the judiciary catches up. Hold the line while these lawyers, the real ones, the trial lawyers, the ones who believe in the Constitution, put their capes on their back, run into court, sue, and fight. Even the Supreme Court has had to say, no, sir. No, Mr. Trump, sir. You can't do that. It's unlawful. It's unconstitutional. It's not democracy. Like due process is a thing in a democracy. So for the people who still want a democracy, I would share what's happening in the courts. Share it widely. Share it within your companies if you're working for companies that may be under attack. Share it in your own networks. If you got a phone, you got a platform. Because right now, that's the line. That's the line that's holding while everybody else gets their act together. Congress is in the hands of the GOP. So for those of you who keep bashing Democrats, I really just don't know why. I mean, is that just because you can't think of anything else to say because you've given up on the Republican Party? But no, call your member if you're in a so-called red state. Call your senator, send emails, put them on blast, let them know their job security is on the line. Talk to them about it because they are the ones who are doing it. They're the ones who are sycophantic right now, who are just allowing for all of Trump's worst, worst impulses, worst desires, worst intentions. Same thing with the budget. Not talking about that today, but I did go look at the Week with Monique, where I covered it on Don Lemon channel and also covered it here last week. So go review those. Had everything to say about it. And now Trump has come out with his wish list, land of wishes, hopes, and dreams. And it's cuts to everything we thought it would be: education, Medicaid, Medicare, so-called entitlement programs that real American citizens pay into. It's every horrible thing. Rent security, everything you can think of that would help Americans, lower class, middle class, upper middle class, everybody but the very, very wealthy. Oh, he's trying to cut it across the board. That's what he's asking Congress to do. So Congress needs to step up, get a spine about them. Yes, even the GOP ones. This isn't what they do either. They're just scared and holding on to their jobs, and they're rightly scared. They're scared of death threats and all kinds of things. They should be scared. But if you're too chicken to do the job, boot, boot, you got to go home. You got to let somebody else do the job. You can't just stay scared in the job. You got to leave the job, or we got to remove you from the job by way of the vote. Okay? That's it. That's all I got for today. I'll be back with you tomorrow with more updates. There are things happening even right now. I've got to talk about those things. There's rumors about uh, Chauvin pardon. That's coming. There's much that needs to be said about the executive orders regarding policing. There are things and things and things. But for today, I want you to know that we're fighting, that there is a branch that is working of your federal government. And so we have to do the rest of the work while they can continue to do theirs. That's all I got for you. Please like this video. Please share it. Please subscribe to my channel, Monique Pressley channel. And please, share this information with people who need to hear it. And who's that? Everybody. Until tomorrow, stay safe out there.